have been on a little bit of a kick with Harry Potter. I don't know what it has been lately, but I have just been all about it. And I have recently covered all of the houses in Harry Potter being explained in great detail. And it really got me thinking, man, I want to learn about the Slytherin house. Man, I really thought they were all just really bad people. Nope. Not at all. So you know what we're going to do? We are going to learn about the Slytherin house, and it's going to be great. And you know where we're going to start? We're going to start with the man himself, Salazar Slytherin. So this is the Spellbook Chronicles on YouTube. Definitely check him out. His links will be in the description of my video when I get to YouTube. Definitely subscribe to me whenever you get there. That would be awesome. Anyway, Salazar Slytherin origins from the Dark Ages to Merlin, apparently, and Hogwarts Legacy cinematic experience. Let's find out what this is all about. I'm hoping this goes into really good detail about him because we're covering the Slytherin house today.
Greetings, my dear wizards, witches, muggles, and squibs. Today, our journey takes us back in time to the Middle Ages, a dark era filled with fear and
Love the ominous feeling here. It takes us back to when the world was anew.
superstition. The conflict between muggles and the magical world was more alive than
Whoa. Hey, listen, that is our word.
ever. But there were those, like Gwendolyn the Weird, who had a grand old time hopping from one pyre to the next. Wasn't that right? But today, we're talking about Salazar Slytherin, one of the four founders. A dark...
Okay, so I was under the impression that, basically the four founders of Hogwarts were like the first wizards. I don't know why I'm under that impression, but for whatever reason I'm thinking like there were no wizards before them. Apparently there was like a whole... Wizardry has been around for, I guess, as long as humanity has, and they've kind of just lived parallel, apparently, which is pretty cool, actually. And Salazar Slytherin was just one of, I guess, four friends, maybe? Four estranged colleagues? Or...
A wizard master of arcane secrets that remain only partially uncovered to this day. A close friend and rival of Godric Gryffindor. He was a man who, through ambition, pure-blood ideals, and brilliance, left behind a legacy that is both controversial and dangerous. Any resemblance to you-know-who is, of course, purely coincidental.
When you say you-know-who, I'm assuming you mean the most dangerous dark wizard in history, Lord Grindelwald. Yes. Yeah, okay, that's fair. You know, you can say his name, though. It's fine.
Indeed, for better or worse, his actions shaped the history of Hogwarts, and by extension, the entire wizarding world. What was he really seeking? What secrets lie hidden behind his legendary figure? Prepare...
He's seeking the purity of the magic bloodlines, right? So, like, he's like Magic Hitler, right? Like...
Prepare your time turners, my dear adventurers, because today, between secret scriptoria and unforgivable curses, we dive into the dark history of Salazar Slytherin and his lineage.
Alright, so it is apparently like a dark history then.
An era long before the International Statute of Secrecy was established to shield the wizarding community from muggles and conceal its existence from the wider world. A time fueled by fear, superstition, prejudice, and violence.
Okay.
These were the so-called Dark Ages of the medieval period. It was in the shadow of this oppressive...
You know, a lot of people say that if we like really like IRL life, like if we hadn't gone through the Dark Ages, we would be a spacefaring civilization already. Because during the Dark Ages, apparently, according to conventional history, they actively suppressed any kind of scientific advancement because of like the church and religion being like dropped on people's shoulders, right?
Massive reality that a prodigious child was raised by his pure-blood parents, either in one of the Anglo-Saxon kingdoms or, as some historians suggest, more likely in one of the Irish realms. It was clear from the very beginning that young Salazar's magical talent was something extraordinarily rare, a gift that, due to the seclusion of the
Okay, so he was just alright, so he apparently, because as it goes, Tom Riddle, who eventually became Voldemort, is apparently the heir of Slytherin. So I'm assuming that is like literally the heir of Slytherin, because this is the very same thing that we found Tom doing when he was little, right? Like he could uncontrollably like do stuff like that. So that's interesting. It's good to know that Salazar Slytherin wasn't just like there is an actual history behind that, and I didn't. I'm gonna learn about all this, man. This is gonna be so much fun.
Desolate fens where the Slytherin family lived, he had the opportunity to nurture and hone day after day, becoming ever more sharp, perceptive, brilliant.
You are destined for greatness.
The magical education provided by his parents was instrumental in this, and Salazar would spend entire mornings hunting with his father and entire afternoons gathering potion ingredients with his mother. But the moment...
I mean, what else was there to do if you're a pure-blooded, like, witch or wizard in the 14th century, right? Like, you're not going to come out and say you're doing all this shit. We're going to hunt at night because they can't find us, and then we're going to make the potions out of plants that we find during the day because, well, we're just foraging.
The moment the young boy cherished most in his heart was the time spent with his many friends in the fens, the snakes. They told him about the world, tales of bygone eras, and dark...
I would be interested to find out, though, exactly how connected the Muggle world and the Wizarding world is, because I know that during Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, we find that, like, Grindelwald, he's doing all his shit and trying to cause, like, a great war and a great purge in, like, the Wizarding community, at the very same time that literal Hitler is trying to do the very same thing with the Jews. So I think it's interesting that I want to know how, like, interconnected and interwoven these worlds are. Like, is there something going on that's crazy in the Wizarding world every single time we had some sort of major event in history? Like, during these Crusades, what was the part of the Wizarding community during the 14th century Crusades, right? Like that, I think that's where we're picking up right now with Slytherin's life. But it is good to know that he kind of came in and made sense out of all of that chaos with his three friends, like Godric Gryffindor, Rowena Ravenclaw, and Helga Hufflepuff, right?
precious secrets that helped Salazar understand magic in all its facets, preparing him for his future. The boy's eyes widened in surprise when his mother revealed to him that Parseltongue, the language of snakes, was an exceptionally rare and hereditary gift, even among wizards. An ability whose origins, to this day, many magical scholars attribute to the Gorgons, dark, parcel-mouthed creatures of ancient Greece, from whom the powerful wizard Herpo the Foul,
Salazar Slytherin, heir of Medusa,
is believed to be a direct descendant. At the age of 10, now considered nearly an adult, it was time for Salazar to take his first great step as a wizard.
I shall find
He needed to obtain his own wand.
my wand.
In those days,
All right.
although a few craftsmen like the Ollivanders already existed in the Anglo-Saxon kingdoms,
because of course they did. He remembers every wand he's ever sold.
the practice of purchasing one's wand was not yet commonplace.
That is so good. Look at how badass that wand looks, man. Like, say what you want about Harry Potter, their wands are really, really unique. Like, each and every one of them, and it is awesome. Like, I like this one much more than I like the Elder one.
Back
The other one looks like I don't know, like those butt beads. You know what I mean?
then, especially for witches and wizards living far from the larger settlements, it was customary to seek out the druids, who believed that
Is that Merlin? Oh no, he's a druid. Is he a druid or is that Merlin?
any plant with a woody stem could be used in wand making.
Oh, okay, all right. So any plant with a wooden stem.
In the Anglo-Saxon kingdoms, at least, it was common for the purchaser of a wand to provide their own core, or request something specific, usually a traditional...
Okay, so Harry's wand had a phoenix feather in it. So I wonder, in the olden days, if you wanted a phoenix feather in your wand, you had to go and get a phoenix feather. Oh man, that's cool though. And you had to do that without the wand because it's not made yet, right? Like, oh man, that's awesome. It's like a rite of passage. That should still be a thing. They should do that still. That should be like the Spartans, right? If you want to join us, you're gonna have to get kicked out into the snow and fight some wolves by yourself.
or well-liked substance. But Salazar had no intention of turning to anyone else for the creation of such a crucial artifact. He would craft his wand with his own hands,
This way.
a wand superior to any ever conceived. The boy ventured
Okay, that's a bold claim. It's a real bold claim.
deep.
Any that we've ever conceived. Listen, the Elder Wand, I hate it, but the Elder Wand is extremely powerful. What do you mean? Really?
into the forest, determined to find the remains of the one the snakes had whispered about for so long, their ancient king, the most powerful and majestic of all serpents. A creature originally conceived by none other than Herpo the Fowl, who discovered
Herpo the Fowl, who discovered that a chicken egg hatched beneath a toad. Hold, wait, what?
discovered that a chicken egg hatched beneath a toad would give birth to a truly unique being.
Oh.
The basilisk.
Oh. Oh, okay. It's funny to know that just a regular chicken egg hatched underneath a toad will give birth to, instead of a chicken, a basilisk. Just have the toad sit on top of the egg instead of the chicken, and it will give birth to a basilisk. Natural enemy of all spiders. What the fuck? Alright, okay. Dude, the lore is crazy with Star Wars right now. Fucking Harry Potter. Sorry, they're the exact same story. I get them mixed up. Harry Potter. The lore is crazy.
Some beasts and monsters that roam our land. There is none more curious or more deadly than the basilisk, known also as the king of serpents. This snake, which may reach gigantic size and live many hundreds of years, is born from a chicken's egg, hatched beneath a toad. Its methods of killing are most wondrous.
How do you even discover that? Like, what possessed you to put the chicken egg underneath a toad to see what happened? What made you think that would give birth to a different creature of the egg? Like, this. See, that's the difference between witches and wizards and, like, regular muggles, right? Like, regular muggles have sense and logic, and witches and wizards just kind of do shit to see what happens.
For aside from its deadly and venomous fangs, the basilisk has a murderous stare.
Muggles exist because they've convinced themselves that they can't do magic. It's not that they can't, really. It's just that they've convinced themselves that they can't.
And all who are fixed with the beam of its eye shall suffer instant death.
Oh.
Spiders flee before the basilisk, for it is their mortal enemy, and the basilisk flees only from the crowing of the rooster, which is fatal to it.
All right.
And so it was that young Salazar, standing before the imposing bones of the fallen creature, found himself breathless. Kneeling before it with reverence, as if in the presence of something once divine, the young wizard claimed one of its horns.
Mine.
It would become the core of his snakewood wand.
Oh.
At last.
The artifact, the...
Okay, so it's a basilisk horn is going to be the core of Salazar Slytherin's wand. That is so bad. And oh, that's cool. And he had to get it without a wand, too.
young boy crafted was something...
I mean, I don't think that's cooler than a phoenix feather, but apparently it is, because he said it was the most, the most powerful one ever conceived or some shit.
that remains inexplicable to this day. An object so infused with magic and power that it appeared almost sentient.
Oh, wow.
Through the use of parcel...
Okay, I'm just wrong then. Got it. Through the use of Parseltongue, Salazar instructed his wand to the... Bro, he could talk to his wand? Because it's a fucking snake core. Oh my god.
Salazar instructed his wand to listen, understand, and above all, obey only its master, binding it to sleep should it ever fall into the wrong hands.
That is so badass. It's a tiny looking wand in the picture though, but that is so cool.
Even now, it is considered the most powerful wand ever created, second only to the Elder Wand.
Okay,
which
alright, here we are. Alright, which was created by literal death.
However, would not be forged until centuries later. As the years passed and his thirst for knowledge became ever harder to quench, the young wizard resolved to leave his homeland to explore the world, and above all, to discover all that magic had to offer. Though his parents strongly opposed his decision, they reminded him of his duty.
Fuck them. They don't know what they're doing, alright? You're out here trying to change the world, alright? You got dreams, you got plans, you got ambitions. You can't be letting people drag you down, Salazar. Alright, you're gonna be a hero one day, I know it.
To bring honor to his ancestors and uphold the purity of his blood, wherever fate might lead him. And at last, they offered him a warning.
At dawn,
Suspicion had crept into the eyes of muggles,
you burn.
even among those who had once sought the help of wizards to heal from illness. Now, The ideas of a handful of zealots who believed that anything magical should be burned and eradicated.
Oh, here we are. Okay, now it's the actual Crusades now.
Spread through the world like a plague. The hatred harbored by those beasts had to be kept at bay.
Okay, so this is what I was wanting to know. During the Crusade type events, I'm wondering what was going on in the Wizarding world that would parallel that in the same way that, from what I've seen, major war type events happen in the Wizarding world around the same time that war events happen in the real world.
Or suppressed.
As the witch hunts grew ever fiercer, wizarding families began to live double lives, using charms of concealment to protect themselves and their families. By the 17th century, any witch or wizard who chose to fraternize with muggles became suspect, even an outcast, in his or her own community.
Dude, that's Dumbledore's notes on the Dark Ages. I don't know how old he was, but I'm pretty sure he wasn't around during the Dark Ages. But, damn.
Some historians propose a theory suggesting Irish origins for the...
Maybe this is before they had... You know what? This might be just before they had separated entirely, right? Because they still know witches and wizards exist, and they're going after them. So I'm wondering if this is just... There's nothing to happen in the Wizarding world, because it's the same world right now.
Slytherin family, connecting their lineage to Maewyn Succat, known to Muggles as Saint Patrick. As legend has it, the saint drove all the snakes from Irish soil, purging the land of impurity. While Muggles interpret these snakes as a metaphor for Celtic pagans, magical historians consider it evident that they were, in fact, many of the witches and wizards of the Irish territories. If this were true, it would mean that the Slytherin family, Salazar's ancestors, were among the very few to survive St. Patrick's purge, forced to live in the shadows, to hide, to avoid extinction.
Well, I guess it is true, right? Because we know that he survived at the very least, because he had to go on to help found Hogwarts.
Over centuries, they developed the traits we now commonly associate with Slytherin House. Cunning.
Yeah, cunning, ambition, pride, and distrust of It's not that they distrust Muggles, okay? They're very ambitious, and they're also very calculated in their actions, right? Now, they are willing to do pretty much whatever, but they are just as much heroes as the Gryffindor house is. They just go about it a bit differently. Instead of running headlong into a battle the way that a Gryffindor would, they're going to sit back and calculate the best strategy and then move forward based on that strategy. I think that that's way better, but hey, it just happens that a lot of the really bad guys come out of the Slytherin house. Maybe that's because they also noticed the corruption in their own political system and said, fuck this, right?
Ambition, pride, and distrust of Muggles. What began as survival instincts gradually evolved into what today might be seen as elitism and prejudice.
No, it might be seen that way because that's kind of what it evolved into, but that's only because of Voldemort.
And so...
And Grindelwald, but that's just whatever.
Salazar Slytherin set out on his journey, traveling through the greatest and most prosperous magical cities of the time, from Paris to Cordoba, and all the way to Constantinople. The young wizard immersed himself in the study of the most complex forms of magic, experimenting and honing his understanding of the dark arts.
He out here putting the work in, okay? He was one of the most powerful wizards for a reason. He worked his ass off for that title. Sure, he had good talent when he was young, but he worked his ass off, okay? This man is a hero. Without him, you wouldn't have one quarter of Hogwarts, all right?
Its highest potential.
So spare me the Slytherin is an evil guy speech, all right? I don't want to hear it. Out here busting his ass for you guys. Show some respect.
In particular, he delved deep into the study of the unforgivable curses, which at the time...
Look, there's nothing wrong with finding out. Boy, that age. Nothing wrong with finding out about it. He's got to know.
...were still fully legal and not unforgivable, widely used as a means of defense against Muggles.
There you go. See, it's not. He's not even going up against. Like, he's not. Look, he's not even breaking the law. Okay, he's not doing anything wrong. This was still totally fine for him to look into.
And now, having become the great wizard he was destined to be, Salazar felt in his heart that it was time to return home. He knew that all those years spent studying and experimenting had to culminate in something greater.
He left the house to become one of the greatest wizards of all time, and now he is back. He is back on he's back on wherever the place is that his mother is, because he wants to see. God damn it, he even looks like Anakin. Jesus Christ.
A higher...
Dude, look, J.K. Rowling does not deserve the flack that she gets, but also, it's just literally Star Wars, man.
Purpose for the good of the entire magical world. And so, Slytherin set sail for Londonburg, the greatest of the Anglo-Saxon cities. It was here, in this wizarding world, that Salazar found the answer to the destiny he had been seeking. It had never been easy for him to come across a witch or wizard of his age truly worth noting. But not in Londonburg. There was a wizard, Godric Gryffindor, so skilled that he had single-handedly defeated an entire army of the Goblin King.
Oh, alright, okay, fuck.
Ragnar the First. And what about the witch, Helga Hufflepuff, known by all as the most talented in charms and healing magic?
I'm upset that she's not wearing blue, but whatever, it's fine.
Salazar.
And then there was her, Rowena Ravenclaw,
Oh no,
as beautiful
I'm stupid. This is Ravenclaw. I'm done. Yeah, no, it's fine.
as she was, brilliant, a tremendously powerful witch, and the most exceptional seer.
Okay, so he moves off to the big city and meets some actual peers in his craft. Okay, cool. You know, that's fine. Fine, dude, it's fine. This is how it happens in real life.
He had ever encountered.
You've traveled far.
The friendship between the four sprang forth naturally, as clear and lively as a spring brook. Each of them shared a deep love for magic, and above all, felt a profound responsibility towards the future of the wizarding world.
It's on us.
They believed it was their duty to do everything in their power
Bet. Hufflepuff made that. Definitely.
to ensure prosperous and harmonious centuries
That's Rowena Ravenclaw's. Definitely.
for future generations. Oh,
I'm so good at this. This is, okay, alright. This is definitely Slytherin's, but that's not the point, alright? He just wants to know how the potions work.
world where magic would no longer be something to fear, but rather a gift to be honed and wielded to its fullest
Look at him. Look at those eyes. He can't be a bad guy. Come on.
potential for the greater good. And so, together, they envisioned, hoped, and dreamed until their aspirations took shape as something truly magnificent. A school of magic, the very first to unite young witches and wizards from the Anglo-Saxon and Celtic lands.
So I wonder how long it took them to build Hogwarts, right? Like, were they just walking through the woods and then went, you know what, here looks good? Or like...
A place that, as we well know, would change the course of history for centuries to come. The Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry.
Okay.
It was in the Scottish Highlands that the four...
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that Hogwarts is not the only school on the planet. I don't know the names of the other ones. Perhaps we'll look into that later, but I don't know them right now.
chose to build their school. A place far from Muggle eyes, but above all, a site brimming with an extraordinarily pure and rare form of energy. One difficult to harness. Ancient magic. None of them, alone, could have hoped to tame such a force. But together, through an unparalleled array of charms and spells, they would lay foundations as solid as the castle itself would be impregnable, wholly shielded from Muggle malevolence. Anyone without magical nature who happened to wander into those mountains would find nothing but a bleak and menacing ruin, instilling in them an urgent sense of danger. It was the year 993 AD, and the epic of Hogwarts was finally beginning. But with it came significant responsibilities. Among them, how would they select which students were worthy of attending Hogwarts? Each of the four founders had a very clear and distinct idea on the matter. For this reason, they agreed that every young witch or wizard with magical ability should be welcomed to the school. However, each student would be placed under the primary guidance and tutelage of one of the 4 founders, who would select them based on their unique qualities.
Okay, so this was before they had the sorting hat. So they have it all set up, and they have kind of the process set up, and it's just the 4 of them. So whenever they get new students, they have to go, you know what, I want you. They're picking them like they're on The Voice, right? Like, they each turn their chairs and just go, yep, you're coming to me, you're coming to Slytherin. I like that malice, cunning.
And inclinations. For Salazar, the core principles and values that defined a talented witch or wizard could only be those instilled by his own family: cunning, ambition, and blood purity. On this particular point, more than any other, his vision differed from that of his friends. Certainly, the bloodshed that Muggles continued to bring upon the magical world was something on which he could not compromise. On the other hand, every half-blood or Muggle-born, if gifted with magic, needed education and guidance to control their powers, just as much as any pure blood.
Listen, there's no reason for a Muggle to be at Hogwarts. Okay, there's nothing that they have to learn there. Now, there's also no reason for any half-blood to not be accepted to Hogwarts. See, he wasn't like prejudice. Okay, he just wanted people with magical abilities to be at Hogwarts and no one else, which is fair.
To Salazar, however, this presented a potential threat. He believed that those whose blood was not pure carried a magic that was limited, unstable, and, for this very reason, exceedingly dangerous. What if these mudbloods used their knowledge of magic to help their kind hunt down and annihilate the wizarding world from...
Okay, well, there was a lot of fighting and a lot of turmoil and a lot of stuff that happened in his past made him probably not like the Muggle world really all that much, which, you know, is fair. Boy, oh man, okay, alright, listen, I swear he's a good guy. I swear I can change him.
From within. Despite his resentment and fears, the wizard decided it was best to set aside his convictions, for the good of the school and for the good of all, for now. In its early years, the school flourished and thrived, gaining popularity across the European continent year by year. Under Slytherin's guidance, students became great scholars of magic, sharp of mind, and exceptionally skilled with their wands.
I don't see what the problem is. It seems to me like everything's going great and like he's a good teacher. Bit coarse maybe, but he's a good teacher, and he put his ambitions on hold for the sake of the school. That is a good man right there. This is a devoted friend too. He couldn't let his friends do this all by himself. He had to put his ambitions aside for the sake of his friends, okay? Man's out here doing the Lord's work.
Salazar, a thorough understanding of the dark arts in all their branches, was not just encouraged, but deemed essential. He pushed his students to transcend every dogmatic boundary of traditional magic, believing that true mastery lay beyond the safe and the conventional. Proficiency in the 3 most powerful curses, the Imperious, the Cruciatus, and the Killing Curse, was, in his eyes, a fundamental requirement.
I think it should be, okay? The Killing Curse is a really great self-defense source. The Cruciatus Curse is a really way for you to, never be lied to, right? You can always get the information that you need. And you know the Imperious Curse is also pretty cool too, because with those three spells alone, you can pretty much do whatever the fuck you want to. But I think it should be a requirement, or at least they should know about it and know how to cast them. I don't know whether or not they master them by using them over and over and kill a bunch of people is a different matter. But I think they should at least be proficient with it for sure. Yeah, absolutely. It should be part of their dark arts training, definitely.
For any great witch or wizard.
Now, there's no reason they have to wear the deer head, though, but hey, whatever.
And therefore, for every Slytherin...
Muggles hate him because this is how they dress, that's all. If he took that off and just walked around with the hood, nobody would care.
...student. Among them, according to many historians, the brightest and most talented of Salazar's protégés was a young wizard named Merlin.
Okay, this is one of the mans I wanted to listen to. Okay, all right. Tell me. He was a protégé that came to Hogwarts when he was young, I would imagine, and he was picked up by Slytherin in the beginning, and he was molded by him. Okay.
Under Slytherin's watchful eye, Merlin's gifts blossomed, his talents surpassing even the wildest of expectations. Salazar saw in him a potential beyond imagination.
Oh boy. Okay. All right. All right. We got a Palpatine Vader situation here now. Okay. All right. Hell yeah. Dude, Merlin coming in as a protege.
Merlin would go on to become one of the greatest wizards of all time.
Yeah, probably one of the most famous ones too. God damn, man, that's awesome.
A legendary figure whose innovation.
We're learning about this dude. We're gonna keep doing it. We're gonna keep doing these videos, and we're gonna learn about this guy. I want to know about his time in Slytherin.
In magic, perhaps even as a forerunner in the creation of a time turner, would echo through history.
Oh my God, Merlin created the time turner. All right, okay, yeah, definitely one of the greatest in history. Also, I bet he's the one that put the sword there.
Ah, there you are, my beloved viewers. Fear
Yes,
not,
hello.
I'll be quicker than a golden snitch. First of all, I want to thank you all for being here for this episode of the Spellbook Chronicles. And if you think Quentin Penter...
Yeah.
The years passed at Hogwarts, and as magic continued to shine ever brighter across the British Isles, Salazar Slytherin's heart grew darker. With every smile Rowena bestowed upon her half-blood students, his stomach tightened. With every cheer from Godric for Muggle achievements, his fist...
Muggle achievements. Okay, all right. So at first they had Muggles at Hogwarts. See, they don't even really have them anymore, like at all. Like it. So like even Hermione, she's not a Muggle. She actually has magic powers. It is interesting though that at least in the beginning they had actual. What were they even being taught? Like what were the Muggles? What could they even learn there?
Clenched harder. And with every proposal from Helga to welcome Muggle-borns into Slytherin, his insides twisted painfully. Where once he believed he could tolerate the situation...
Okay, just Muggle-borns like Hermione. Okay, all right. So everyone still had magic, but there were some that were born to two Muggle parents like Hermione was, and they were still... All right, so they didn't have like non-magical people at Hogwarts. They just... All right, okay, that makes sense.
Lately, the ever-growing spirit of acceptance and brotherhood at Hogwarts had swelled into something he now saw as dangerously toxic. Something had to be done, once and for all. And so, Salazar made one final attempt to assert his opinion, warning his friends of the danger they were all heading towards. But their minds remained unchanged. His words, in fact, sparked the fury of Godric, perhaps the one he considered the closest among the three, and between them erupted a heated argument, one that narrowly escaped becoming a deadly duel.
Oh shit, the Valley of the End!
I fear we shall...
What was Godric's wand, though? Because, so Slytherin had a basilisk horn in his wand, which is cool as fuck, but I wonder what was in the rest of them. We're gonna cover all the houses. We're gonna do it. Definitely subscribe.
never come to an accord. I cannot persuade even one of them to listen to reason. I had dared hope that Godric's thoughts aligned with my own, that he understood why the caliber of students needed to be exceptional. But he has fallen prey to the ridiculous notion that Muggle-borns are somehow as capable as purebloods.
Okay, I do agree with Godric on that one, sir, but I'm gonna be honest with you. They can be as capable, but they'll never be as powerful, right? Because they gotta have it's like the royal family, like from Black Clover, right? Where they're all magic knights, but the royals have a larger pool of magic power, you know. So you got like the pureblood witches and wizards. They have a larger pool of magic power that they can draw upon, right? Like, but so okay, so if Muggle means just like you're a witch and a wizard, and you have two parents that are Muggles. Does that mean that to be a pureblood you have to come from two like wizards? Is that how that works? Because like half-blood, I would imagine you have one wizard and one non-wizard gave birth to a wizard. But so pureblood is basically two parents that are wizards, but that would obviously give you a larger magical pool. So I can understand where Slytherin's coming from here. You know, Godric though being like, hey, we don't gotta be a dick though to like the people that aren't as cool, right? Oh, this is from Slytherin's diary. All right, hell yeah.
After what had transpired, the castle walls, once so filled with his pride and ambition to do good, now overflowed only with hatred and pain. He knew it was time to leave the past behind, along with his grand dream.
That's true. So that's when we're gonna start making the secret chamber in the girls' bathroom, right?
Salazar Slytherin.
I mean, what else are we gonna do? Like, an old man who hasn't achieved any of his dreams? Yeah, definitely. We're gonna make a chamber in the girls' bathroom where we can, keep secret things secret.
Would leave the Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. Despite Slytherin's absence, the 3 remaining founders rolled up their sleeves to ensure that the balance of the school and its students remained intact.
Is everything well?
Though there was a deep sense of discontent among the Slytherin students, who continued to be selected by the Sorting Hat, a powerful magical object imbued with the personalities and values of all 4 founders to sort future generations of students.
Okay, and so that's when they created the Sorting Hat. Whenever they couldn't go on, they needed to have the, alright, yeah, alright, it's all coming together, it's all making sense, it's all clicking for me, okay.
Hogwarts continued to prosper.
I assure you.
Beyond their smiles and steadfast ideology,
Oh, look at her, woman, get back in the kitchen.
however, beneath the stone floor on which they stood, the will of their old friend thrived, more alive than ever.
Yeah.
A wizard like Salazar.
He was walking down the secret chamber in the girls' bathroom. You leave him alone, okay? He's had a hard life. Fucking Epstein Slytherin.
Would never have allowed his legacy to wither away without
All right, I don't know if I'm gonna keep trying to defend this guy.
taking action to prevent it. He had left the school, yes, but not without planting within it the seed of his own beliefs. 2 chambers, as dangerous as they were dark, had been designed and built by him in secret before his
If I
departure.
speak it now,
One was a scriptorium,
the door will
impossible to find without the gift of parcel tongue, and impossible to survive without demonstrating a willingness to use the Cruciatus Curse, an allegory of his philosophy. To do good in this world, one must unfortunately
endure.
be prepared and aware that it will inevitably bring misunderstanding and pain.
I can agree with that though, because that's just true. Like, sure, I want it to be a good world, and sure, I want it to be some sort of utopia, but ultimately, darkness and evil and like bad people do exist, and you need to be prepared for that, because if you aren't prepared, you're just gonna be a victim. And unfortunately, look, evil is fought by good men, but those good men do have to fight. Right? It's the way the world works, and if you think that you can get by without being prepared for anything and without being able to defend yourself, then you're just wrong and you're delusional.
Inside the scriptorium, Salazar had left his precious spellbook,
Slytherin's Spellbook.
an artifact of immeasurable value for the boundless knowledge contained within it.
This is incredible.
Wonder where that ended up.
According to some rumors, the book was recovered in 1891
Oh?
by a Slytherin student, Sebastian Sallow.
So who is that guy? What the hell? Okay, so it was recovered by another Slytherin student, this Sebastian Swallow? I don't, something like that. Anyway, recovered by him, and
Only to be destroyed a few months later.
it was recovered by a student and then destroyed.
But it was not in the scriptorium that the wizard had placed all his hopes for the future of Hogwarts. No, there was another chamber, hidden deep within the castle's foundation.
Yeah, and unfortunately the entrance was somewhere that it really should not have been, but that's whatever. It's Chamber of Secrets, right? We know that one.
Far more sinister and deadly.
Yes.
The Chamber of Secrets. Within this chamber, whose entrance could only be accessed through Parseltongue, lay a weapon for his heir. A young and powerful basilisk, created and raised by Salazar himself,
Yes.
was destined to serve the one who would someday come to the school to bring justice and restore order to the wizarding world. This heir would purge every mudblood, every unworthy soul of the gift of magic and the education offered by Hogwarts.
Right, correct me if I'm wrong, but the basilisk kills you regardless of your wizarding genealogy, right? Like its gaze will kill you whether you're a pureblood or not, right? Like, what are we doing here? The very fact that Tom was even able to go down there and talk to it and not die is crazy, because it's supposed to be about it looking at you thing.
He, and only he, would be the true heir of Salazar Slytherin. But that is another story.
Yeah.
And so, the legacy of the wizard continued to thrive within the school, carried on by future generations of students in his house, as well as by his bloodline. His descendants, known to history as the House of Gaunt, would leave an indelible mark on the centuries to come, ultimately playing a pivotal role in some of the greatest wars the wizarding world had ever faced. But there is another story, the story of Salazar Slytherin's wand. A wand passed down through generations of his descendants in Ireland, only to set sail across the ocean and forever shape the course of events on American soil.
Oh.
I'd love to tell you this story, the story of Ilvermorny School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. Maybe one day.
Yeah, I'd love to cover that. I might write that down, actually. That seems pretty cool. This is a different, the story of who? Hold on.
Forever shape the course
okay,
of
what was the
events
name of
on
this
American soil. I'd love to tell you this story, the story of Ilvermorny School.
Ilvermorny School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. This is on the American soil, so this is... It just looks like an American school. I love that. Hogwarts is a fucking castle with nice scenery, and we're over here just kind of tucked in the woods somewhere with some stairs and shit. Anyway, oh man. So yeah, that's Slytherin. That's his story. Apparently he had a wand that was second only to the Elder Wand, but his wand was created first, so you know, his is better. And apparently a basilisk horn being with a core in your wand is like the best possible thing ever. Sure, why not? He's a tragically misunderstood person. He was only trying to keep the wizarding world pure. He was only trying to keep the further descendants of the current wizards. He wants to try and keep them as powerful as possible so that when the muggles eventually rise up and come at us with their guns, we'll be able to stop them. But at this point, because Godric Gryffindor decided he wanted to do some crazy things and start letting muggle-born people up in here, it's not going to work out. It's not going to work out for him. So I had a lot of fun. That's Harry Potter. That's, well, the Slytherin house anyway. And if I'm being completely honest with you, it's taken for granted. You know, it's not nearly as bad as people say it is. There have been a lot of famous witches and wizards to come out of the Slytherin house, not least of which is fucking Merlin, first of all, which is awesome. Creator of the Expelliarmus, probably one of the most well-known spells from the Harry Potter books. Merlin created that shit, right? Anyway, like, subscribe, follow, hit the notification bells, do the things. My links will be in the description. Alright, well, I had a great time. Hope you guys had a great time. I'll see you guys on Sunday. Bye.